High-value men. 5 things you should never say to a woman. Imagine this. Every word you speak is like a key that can either unlock doors to deeper respect and connection or slam them shut. The way you communicate shapes how others perceive your confidence, strength, and self-control. Now, what if I told you there are 5 specific things you should never say to a woman? These aren't minor slip-ups. They can have a lasting impact on how she sees you, potentially undermining the respect and admiration you've worked hard to build. In this video, we'll explore those 5 critical missteps, breaking them down one by one. You'll learn how to maintain your composure and protect your image while navigating conversations with intention and care. By the end, you'll have a deeper understanding of how to keep your relationships balanced, respectful, and full of genuine admiration. Let's embark on this journey to refine your words, elevate your presence, and ensure you stay in control, not by manipulation, but through thoughtful and meaningful communication. Get ready to step into a version of yourself that commands respect and admiration in every interaction. Section 1. Why high-value men don't reveal their weaknesses too soon. Let's dive into something crucial: the timing of vulnerability in relationships. Every man has weaknesses. It's part of being human. But when and how you share those vulnerabilities with a woman can shape the entire dynamic of your relationship. In the early stages of getting to know someone, it's essential to project strength and confidence. Why? Because the foundation of attraction is often built on perception. A woman evaluates who you are, what you stand for, and whether you can handle life's challenges. If the first thing she sees in you is uncertainty or unresolved struggles, it can raise doubts about your stability. Many men believe that opening up about their hardships early on will make them seem more relatable or endearing. But here's the truth: it doesn't. Women are drawn to men who demonstrate emotional self-control and resilience. Early vulnerability can disrupt the balance of power in the relationship. It's not about manipulation. It's about establishing a dynamic where mutual respect and admiration can flourish. When you reveal too much too soon, it can unintentionally shift the relationship dynamic. Instead of seeing you as a capable, composed partner, she may start to feel like she needs to take on the role of your emotional caretaker. This can erode the attraction and respect she feels for you. High-value men handle their emotions independently. They solve their problems first and share only when the relationship has grown deep enough to handle such conversations with trust and respect. Think of yourself as a fortress. A fortress doesn't open its gates to just anyone. It remains solid and impenetrable until the right time, until trust has been earned and the defenses are secure. Your strength, composure, and reliability are what make you attractive. By holding back and revealing your vulnerabilities strategically, you create an air of intrigue and ensure that your challenges are seen as a mark of trust rather than a sign of instability. This doesn't mean you should never open up. It simply means you need to choose the right moment. Sharing too early can make it difficult for her to see your strengths later on. Once you've established yourself as someone who can navigate life's ups and downs with grace, your vulnerability becomes a strength. At that point, opening up feels like a gift rather than a burden, deepening the connection rather than destabilizing it. There's another layer to this: maintaining psychological balance in the relationship. When you hold back, and show emotional self-reliance, you signal that you are capable of managing your own life. This not only earns respect, but also keeps her attracted, curious, and eager to learn more about the man beneath the surface. On the flip side, revealing too much too quickly can make her feel overwhelmed or uncertain. It can shift the focus from partnership to caretaking, a role that undermines the natural balance of a healthy relationship. At its core, emotional self-reliance is a hallmark of high-value men. It's not about hiding who you are or pretending to be perfect. It's about handling your issues internally first, presenting your best self, and choosing the right moments to let someone in. This approach ensures that your vulnerability will be appreciated and respected, strengthening the bond between you and your partner. In the end, timing is everything. Reveal your struggles when the relationship has reached a level of trust and maturity where they enhance the connection rather than jeopardize it. Be the fortress, strong, composed, and steadfast. And when the time is right, let her see the man inside, confident that your vulnerability will only deepen the respect and admiration she already has for you. Section 2. Keep your future plans private. As a man with ambitions, you're always thinking ahead, plotting your next moves. But here's something to consider. Sharing your detailed plans for the future, especially early on, might not have the effect you're hoping for. While you might think it's impressive to lay out your goals, doing so can unintentionally strip away a crucial element in relationships: mystery. Mystery is magnetic. When you don't reveal every detail of your plans, you keep her curious and engaged. Women are naturally drawn to intrigue. They enjoy piecing together the puzzle of who you are and what you're about. If you disclose every step you plan to take, the dynamic shifts. Suddenly, you're no longer the fascinating, unpredictable man she's eager to understand. Instead, you become predictable, someone whose every move she can foresee. And predictability, while comforting in some areas of life, can diminish the spark in a relationship. By maintaining a level of mystery, you keep her wondering, thinking about you, and staying engaged in the relationship. This sense of intrigue helps sustain the connection and keeps the relationship dynamic. It's not about being secretive or deceptive, but about preserving an element of unpredictability that fuels attraction. Why holding back matters. There's a deeper psychological layer to this approach. Think of it this way. Would a military general reveal every step of a battle plan to just anyone? Of course not. Doing so would weaken their position, making them vulnerable to criticism, attack, or sabotage. Similarly, when you share your plans too openly, you open yourself up to unnecessary scrutiny or doubt. When someone else knows your plans in detail, they might start questioning your decisions, offering advice you didn't ask for, or unintentionally undermining your confidence. Even with the best intentions, their input could create distractions or doubts that weren't there before. By keeping your plans private, you retain the power to adapt and change course without feeling obligated to explain yourself. Your ability to stay flexible and focused is your strength. Think of your life as a game of chess. A grandmaster doesn't announce his next move until it's already happening. By keeping your strategies close to your chest, you protect your goals, maintain control, and project confidence. High-value men understand the importance of maintaining independence in their decision-making. Sharing every detail of your future plans can sometimes stem from a need for validation, seeking approval or reassurance about your choices. But true confidence doesn't come from external approval, it comes from within. When you move in silence, you allow your actions to speak for themselves. Let your results be the proof of your ambition and capability. By the time anyone realizes what you've been working on, you've already achieved it. This approach not only shields you from unnecessary pressure, but also enhances your sense of accomplishment. Your success becomes entirely yours, free from the weight of external expectations or opinions. Women are deeply drawn to a man who is independent, someone who doesn't rely on others for guidance or validation to achieve his dreams. By keeping your plans to yourself, you send a powerful message. You are fully capable of handling your life and steering your destiny. This level of self-assurance is incredibly attractive because it demonstrates that you are your own person, unaffected by the noise of the world around you. When you withhold your plans, you also foster a sense of respect and admiration in the relationship. You show her that you're not just reactive, but deliberate and strategic in your approach to life. This doesn't mean you shouldn't share your aspirations or involve her in your life. It simply means knowing when and how much to reveal. The power of silence. By embracing the art of moving quietly and letting your actions do the talking, you gain more than just control. You gain respect. People, including the woman in your life, will admire your discipline, focus, and ability to navigate life without constant external input. Remember, a healthy, long-lasting relationship is built on mutual respect, trust, and admiration. By keeping a part of yourself mysterious, you ensure that these elements remain intact. You protect not only your plans, but also the connection that keeps the relationship alive and thriving. Stay patient, strategic, and self-assured. Let your actions pave the way, and let the results speak for themselves. In doing so, you'll not only achieve your goals, but also nurture a bond that's grounded in admiration, trust, and intrigue. Section 3. Avoid discussing financial struggles. Money is a delicate subject in any relationship, and how you approach it says a lot about you as a person. For men who strive to live with purpose and value, it's essential to handle this topic with wisdom. Sharing financial struggles, especially early in a relationship, can unintentionally shift how a woman perceives you. For many women, financial stability represents more than just material wealth. It symbolizes security. It's not about superficiality, it's about a deep-seated biological instinct. Security is a cornerstone of emotional well-being, and when financial instability surfaces, it can trigger doubts about your ability to navigate life's challenges. Even if you're actively working to improve your financial situation, openly discussing your struggles may raise concerns about whether you're prepared to lead, provide, and build a stable future together. Frame the narrative as growth. This doesn't mean you should pretend to be something you're not, or conceal your reality entirely. Instead, it's about reframing how you present your circumstances. High-value men view their financial challenges as opportunities for growth, not limitations. Rather than focusing on the struggle, highlight the journey you're on, the steps you're taking to build a better future. For example, instead of saying, "I'm having a tough time making ends meet," you could say, "I'm working hard right now because I'm determined to create something lasting and meaningful." This subtle shift changes the focus from limitations to potential. It shows resilience ambition, and the ability to adapt, all qualities that inspire confidence and respect. Money, in this context, is more than just a means to an end. It's a symbol of control, power, and independence. When you openly discuss financial struggles, you might unintentionally signal a lack of control in an area that's deeply tied to self-sufficiency. This doesn't mean you need to be wealthy to be respected, but projecting a sense of competence and resourcefulness regarding your financial life is crucial. Your words matter here. Speak with optimism and focus on your goals. Show her that your current situation is temporary and that you're actively working towards financial freedom. This doesn't just reassure her, it reinforces your own confidence in your ability to succeed. Discussing financial struggles too soon can also shift the balance of power in a relationship in ways that may not be favorable. If she senses that you're relying on her emotionally or financially because of money-related stress, it can undermine the natural dynamic of mutual respect. As a man, it's important to lead with strength and stability, showing that you're capable of handling your life's challenges independently. This doesn't mean you should avoid vulnerability altogether, but timing is everything. Trust and mutual understanding take time to build, and sharing financial details prematurely can add unnecessary pressure. Once the relationship is on solid ground, there will be space to discuss these matters in a way that fosters partnership rather than imbalance. A high-value man doesn't dwell on financial hardships. He takes action. This is an opportunity to let your actions speak louder than your words. Instead of discussing what's going wrong, share your vision for the future. Talk about the plans you're putting in place, the progress you're making, and the lessons you're learning along the way. By focusing on your ambitions rather than your setbacks, you command respect and maintain an aura of determination. It's not about impressing her with wealth, but showing her that you're unwavering in your commitment to growth and success. When it comes to money, less is more, at least in the beginning. Keep details about your financial situation private until trust is established. Even then, frame conversations in a way that reflects your optimism, resourcefulness, and long-term vision. For example, instead of saying, "I'm struggling with debt," you might say, "I'm actively working on a financial plan to create stability for the future." This approach not only shifts the tone, but also underscores your ability to take responsibility and act with purpose. Ultimately, the way you approach discussions about money can either strengthen or weaken the foundation of your relationship. By maintaining control over your narrative, reframing challenges as opportunities, and focusing on action rather than struggle, you project confidence and independence, two traits that keep you respected and admired. Remember, it's not about hiding who you are or pretending to be perfect. It's about showing that you're a man with a plan, capable of handling life's ups and downs with grace and determination. By doing so, you build a foundation of trust, respect, and admiration that will sustain a healthy, balanced relationship. Section 4. Handle your insecurities with strength. We all have insecurities. It's part of being human. No one is immune to self-doubt. But as a man striving to live with confidence and purpose, understanding how to manage those insecurities is crucial, especially in a relationship. Here's the reality. When you openly confess your insecurities to a woman, particularly early on, you risk projecting instability. The role of confidence. Confidence is one of the most attractive traits in a man. Imagine following a leader who frequently expressed doubts about their ability to lead. Would you trust them to make tough decisions? Probably not. The same principle applies in relationships. When you expose your insecurities too soon, it can signal that you don't fully believe in yourself, and that can cause her to question your ability to handle challenges in life. This isn't to say you should pretend to be perfect or suppress your feelings indefinitely. It's about timing and balance. Early in a relationship, focus on showing your strength and self-assurance. As trust grows and the bond deepens, there's room to share more personal thoughts. Even then, it's about finding the right balance. You don't want to come across as someone constantly seeking reassurance, as this can shift the dynamic in a way that undermines attraction. Why emotional stability matters. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude emotional stability. It's not about being cold or unemotional, but about demonstrating that you're in control of your inner world. When you confess your insecurities too readily, you risk shifting the dynamic in the relationship. Instead of being seen as a source of strength, you might start to appear as someone in need of emotional support. While women value vulnerability in the right context, they don't want to feel like they're carrying the weight of your emotional struggles. Relationships thrive when both partners bring their strengths to the table. A man who can handle his challenges independently shows that he's reliable and capable, qualities that inspire respect and admiration. The power of handling insecurities privately. Acknowledging your insecurities doesn't mean you need to broadcast them. High-value men take a proactive approach to their self-doubt. They work on their challenges privately, seeking solutions rather than sympathy. This is where real growth happens. When you face your insecurities head-on, you demonstrate resilience and the ability to adapt. Think of it this way. By keeping your insecurities to yourself, you're not avoiding them. You're creating space to address them productively. You're signaling to yourself and the world that you're in control of your thoughts and emotions. This quiet self-assurance is incredibly attractive. Growth through action. Instead of focusing on your shortcomings, focus on what you're doing to improve. High-value men don't dwell on their flaws. They take deliberate steps to overcome them. This mindset not only keeps you moving forward, but also reinforces the perception of you as a man who's always striving to be better. For example, if you're insecure about a skill or area of your life, don't talk endlessly about your frustrations. Take action to address them. Whether it's learning a new skill, improving your fitness, or working on your emotional resilience, your commitment to growth speaks volumes. Maintaining a strong dynamic. When you handle your insecurities with quiet confidence, you maintain a healthy dynamic in the relationship. You remain the steady presence she can rely on, someone who inspires trust and admiration. By working on yourself privately, you avoid creating a situation where she feels the need to fix you. Instead, you present yourself as someone who's continually evolving, which keeps the relationship fresh and exciting. The bottom line. The goal isn't to hide who you are or pretend you don't have vulnerabilities. It's about how you manage and present them. High-value men understand the importance of timing and context. Early on, focus on building trust and showcasing your strengths. Later, when the relationship is more established, Share your thoughts in a way that fosters connection without shifting the dynamic. Ultimately, your ability to handle your insecurities with grace and action sets you apart. It shows that you're a man of resilience and purpose, someone who doesn't just talk about growth, but actively pursues it. And that, more than anything, is what creates a foundation of respect, admiration, and lasting attraction in a relationship. Section 5. Share past failures wisely. Everyone has a past, and with it comes a mix of successes and failures. But here's the key: your failures are not what define you. How you respond to them does. As a man striving to live with purpose and value, it's crucial to approach the topic of past failures thoughtfully in relationships. Early on, being too open about your mistakes can inadvertently make you appear less competent or less capable, which might impact how you're perceived. Focus on growth, not mistakes. It's not about hiding your past or pretending to be flawless. Instead, it's about timing and framing. When you dive into your past failures too early, you risk giving the impression that you're dwelling on them or that they still weigh you down. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude confidence and resilience, those who can face life's challenges and continue moving forward. If you spend too much time highlighting what went wrong in your past, the message you might unintentionally send is, "This is who I was, and perhaps who I still am." Instead, shift the focus to where you are now and the positive steps you're taking in your life. Show her that your past failures were merely stepping stones to becoming the stronger, wiser man you are today. There's a psychological component to how people perceive failures. When you reveal too much about your mistakes too soon, it can unintentionally shift the narrative of who you are. Instead of being seen as the strong, competent man you've worked to become, she may start focusing on the version of you that made those mistakes. It's a natural, albeit unfair, tendency for people to judge others by their past, even when they've clearly moved forward. By withholding details of your past until trust and understanding have been established, you give her the chance to see your strengths first. Later, when you share your past, she'll view it through the lens of the capable, evolved man she already knows, rather than through the lens of your earlier struggles. Discussing failures too soon can also make it seem like you're carrying emotional baggage. When you talk about failed relationships or past mistakes, it can give the impression that you haven't fully moved on or learned from those experiences. Women are drawn to men who are clear about their direction and purpose, men who are focused on the present and future, not entangled in the regrets of the past. By choosing to keep your past setbacks private initially, you project an image of a man who is forward-thinking, resilient, and grounded in the present. This doesn't mean you'll never share your story, but it ensures that when you do, it's framed as part of a larger narrative of growth and triumph. Failures are inevitable. They're part of every success story. The difference lies in how you communicate them. High-value men don't present their failures as stumbling blocks. They frame them as stepping stones. When the time comes to discuss your past, position your mistakes as valuable lessons that shaped who you are today. For example, instead of saying, "I failed at a business and lost everything," you might say, "I started a business that didn't work out, but it taught me invaluable lessons that I've since applied to achieve greater success." This shift in perspective highlights your ability to take ownership of your experiences and use them to grow. High-value men don't dwell on their failures. They learn from them and move on. They don't see themselves as victims of their circumstances, but as architects of their future. When you eventually choose to share your past failures, do so with confidence and purpose. Frame them as challenges you overcame, as proof of your resilience and determination. By presenting your past in this way, you maintain the respect and admiration of the woman you're with, while reinforcing the image of a man who is always striving to improve. This approach not only strengthens your relationship, but also underscores your personal growth and commitment to a life of purpose and value. Ultimately, it's not about avoiding conversations about your past. It's about handling them with care. By focusing on your present success and future potential, you ensure that your past failures serve as a testament to your growth, rather than a shadow over your accomplishments. Conclusion: the strength of silence. A high-value man's true power lies not only in what he says, but more importantly, in what he chooses to withhold. Strategic silence is a tool that allows you to maintain control, command respect, and preserve an air of mystery that keeps others intrigued. By carefully choosing when and how to share your thoughts, whether it's about your plans, weaknesses, financial challenges, or past failures, you protect your emotional power and the perception others have of you. Silence isn't about deception, it's about self-mastery. High-value men understand that not every emotion or thought needs to be voiced, and that maintaining a sense of privacy is essential for respect and attraction. When you do speak, your words carry more weight, and when you choose to reveal something personal, it's seen as a meaningful gesture, not an obligation. In the end, less is often more. By exercising restraint and mastering the art of silence, you preserve your power and maintain a strong, confident image. This balance of strength and subtlety is what truly defines a high-value man.